So it's all been happening, of course, with the situation on gas in the Isle of Man and the changes that are now being proposed by Manx Gas. The CEO is joining us here. Ian, it's confusing maybe for some people exactly what's happening here because the Office of Fair Trading hasn't come out yet. The thing in front of the Council of Ministers is still pending. But you've broken through this and sort of come up with this, getting rid of those hated different bandings. Is that correct? I mean, there's a lot to take in here. What exactly have you done?
I think first of all, Paul, I mean, there's certainly been a significant group of people who have not understood the banded standing charge and felt it has been unfair. And, I've been in the company now just over 12 months, and it's very important for me as the managing director of a utility company to ensure that we listen to the views of customers. And whilst there are a significant number of people who haven't complained, there are a large group who have. And it's important that we take on board those views, listen to them, and wherever possible, take action to improve the reputation of the organisation, to improve the service that we provide to our customers. Okay, so in this situation, we've heard the comments that have come from the Facebook group. We've also heard comments that have come from ministers. And we've looked at the standing charge, and it's clear that, that many of our customers didn't understand it. I would say it was probably well intentioned. It is designed to be cost neutral for customers over a 12-month period. But for some customers, if you're going to get a bill in the summer, you've had your central heating switched off all summer, and you get a bill for £100, that's going to be a nasty surprise. When you don't think you've used any gas during the summer, and that's caused some confusion.
Yes, but isn't it surely you're just equaling it out more, because you're still making the same amount of money at the end of the day, right? You just, instead of having it evened out, which is what you just said you've been doing, which to a lot of people that's helpful, I suppose, to have it evened out. In the middle of winter, some people now are going to get a much higher hit rate if they opt for changing their billing system with you, right?
Yeah, one of the advantages of the old system, Paul, was that if you get a very cold winter, it does actually protect you, because you are recovering more of your revenue through a fixed cost and less through a variable charge. So if there was a very, very cold winter, as we had last year, then that could be difficult for people, because the number of units you would use would increase. But as I say, it was designed to be cost neutral. It was designed to be cost neutral for customers. But at the end of the day, I was saying, Paul, if some customers don't understand it, they don't like it, they feel it's opaque, then it's important for us to listen to their views. And I say, ultimately, I think the banded standing charge system perhaps failed the man in the street test. And so as a consequence of the views of customers and also the views put forward by government, we've had a look into that and thought probably the best thing that we can do is offer choice.
Right, so you see that's my point. So this hasn't changed what people's bills are going to be, are they? It's not changed anything as far as, at the end of the year, most people will still be paying exactly the same. It's just how they pay it.
That's correct.
So you've rearranged the deck chairs on the Titanic.
They have a choice, Paul. But they have a choice how they pay it, Paul. Now. Indeed. That's what we're planning to do. It gives them choice.
Now, you've still got this report coming out. You've still got the Council of Ministers looking into it. So is this just a preemptive strike almost, to get in there before you're told to change things?
No, from the perspective of the banding standing charge, Paul, there are certain points in time in the year when we can do it, and we have to start planning for it now.
Will people see refunds then? Will you be retrospective on this? How's it work?
Well, there are no refunds really designed into it, Paul, and there are none due for people. If you're within the band that you're on, that was the tariff structure that was in place. And as I said, it was designed to be cost neutral. So whilst there may be some small winners and losers, and it's cost neutral overall, there may be some small winners and losers. It's a very, very small order indeed. And that's the way the tariff was designed. What I would say is, and I've said this all through, is that if somebody feels they have been on the wrong band all the way through, then they should contact us and we will look into that on their behalf.
What is going to happen next? Because, as I said, these reports and where are we going? This should have come in last year, shouldn't it? The actual report into the gas, it's been put back. You've seen obviously a copy of it. You've had input into it, and a minister said it could be explosive. I think, or words to that effect. But how do you read it? Without obviously giving away, because you can't say anything yet. But is it going to be a big radical change to your structure of your business?
I haven't seen it, Paul.
You haven't seen it, but I think we had input into it.
Paul. we've had a part in the process as other groups have. We've fed in, we've fully participated, we've been open and transparent through, but I haven't seen the report.
Are you expecting you to be told you've got to do this differently, take a hit, not make so much money? I mean, what are the options that you could be faced with, or is it everything and anything?
I couldn't comment, Paul, because I don't know what's going to be in it.
Any likelihood of when it's coming out yet, and that?
Again, I probably don't know much more than yourself in this. At first, it was due to be done by the end of the year, and then it was told by the end of January. I haven't heard anything else.
Now, you've had meetings with Mr. Murphy and his group. You also, looks like you're setting up a Q&A sessions. Is that another way of trying to appease this sort of loud amount of people who have had a problem with the way you've been doing things?
Well, I haven't had meetings with Mr. Murphy. I had a phone call with him.
Right. And it was cordial, I hear.
I had a phone call with him, I think yesterday. Is it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was. Or the day before. I had a phone call with Mr. Murphy. That was very good. It was nice to speak to him. And certainly from my own perspective, as we go through and we look at Manx Gas and what Manx Gas is and the reputation of Manx Gas, certainly it's important that, I'm seen to be, open in front of the people and available to our customers so I can explain the situation of the standing charge and help them better understand how the new system of standing charge could work, Paul. Because as I said earlier, one of the problems that happened with it previously was one of communication, and it's very important that we don't have miscommunication again this time. So, putting myself out there and speaking to people, on electronic forums or face-to-face is a way to help people ask the questions that they want to ask and ensure that they can get the answers that they need to understand how the structure will work.